Hi guys, this is Tammy with A Chick That Knits and welcome back to my channel. This is a channel about starting up a hand-dyed yarn business, about my adventures and my failures and all just kinds of things that I'm learning along the way. This is some of the yarn that I've knitted up. I have finally created my labels and I'm labeling them, and this is a skein of yarn that I have painted. And how to wind it up is you put some resistance on it, like this. There's a bit of resistance here. And I twist it 7 times. 4, 5, 6, 7. Kind of straighten out your twist. And then I bend it over a hook. I can't do this with my elbow. I've tried to do it. I am too tall. My arms are too long. But I use a hook. Let me use a hook. There we go. It's just a hook to bend it. So once I bend it, I insert one end through the other end and you get a pretty skein of yarn. And I have a question for you guys. I like this as the front of the yarn. See the little head sticking out? Being a nurse, I would tell you what body part this looks like to me, but I wouldn't dare say that on video. So you're just going to have to guess. So otherwise, let's not use my nurse imagination and use my girl imagination, and let's be like a flower. So I like this sticking up out of this. It's just one end over the other. Well, I like that as the front of the yarn, but I've seen some others use this as the front of the yarn, and to me that looks like the back of the yarn. What do you guys think? Do you think this is the front with the nub in the front, or the wrap in the back? I guess it depends on what I like, what I think is normal, because if I see a label like this, every time I look at it, I'm going to think it's backwards. Whereas if I look at it like this, I'm going to think it's frontwards. To me, this looks like a little flower. I just think it's beautiful. Let me show you. What do you think, guys? Who's that? That's me. Guys, I have to tell you something. I am a total introvert. I do not like being center stage. I do not like eyes on me. Oh my gosh, a wedding and people looking at me, nightmare. So I am an introvert. And the fact that I have my face on this label of yarn is a big, big deal. But my stepdaughter, Bailey, who is super, super talented, she draws these, she doodles these and makes logos. You can check her out. Go to Harvard and Hide on Instagram, and she makes leather jewelry. She's kind of cowgirl country. Super, super talented kid. I call her a kid. She's 25 years old, but wow, she is super talented. But she made my Lego, so I want to use it. My logo, not my Lego. So I want to use it. And that is my label. And on the back, I will have a sticker that has more information on it. But what do you think, guys? What do you think about my label? What is your opinion? I think it's cute. See, look, see what I was talking about? You can see it here. The purple, it might look blue on the screen. It looks blue when I look in the camera, but to my eye, this is purple, not blue. But see the little spot of purple that comes up? See, the label's on wrong. See, this is the back. What's the front? What's the back? What do you think? I would like your opinion. I just think that's cute. But I had it both ways. Maybe it doesn't matter. That's gonna bug me. See? Yeah! A chick that knits. So I've got my labels. I am super excited about that. I'm actually dyeing some yarn. Can you see? I'm working on a sandy, like the beach, sandy pebbles to browns and grays and dark colors to navy blue. So think of a beach and an ocean. So that's what I'm working on, a colorway that is neutrals that go into a solid blue. Kind of like my shirt, a nice neutral that goes into a navy blue. And I used little shower curtain rings. They're plastic and it allows me to grab onto the yarn without burning myself. But I have to let it cool off a little bit first before I touch it. Do you see my brown yarn? It's marled. It hasn't absorbed evenly, which is perfect. It's what I want. But I have got some skeins cooking in there. I have another pot here that you can't see, and I have some yarn cooking in there. And today I've been working on my labels. In less than 12 hours, I'm going to turn 50 years old. Hey, I don't know what to say about that. Anyway, it is my 50th birthday on Monday. I was born at 2/11 on 2/11. Isn't that interesting? I think that's a cool little tidbit of information. So yeah, I turned 50. I enter into my 5th decade of life, and I'm really excited about it. One thing, a goal that I'm going to try to do in my 50s is get over fear. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't like to be out in the front face of anything. I like to be back behind the scenes, telling everybody what to do. I've got great ideas, but I don't like being front and center. So that is a fear for me. And in my 50s, my goal for my 50s is to conquer my fears. So me being on YouTube, I'm conquering my fears. Putting my face on a label of yarn, I'm conquering my fears. Putting my bloopers up, I'm conquering my fears. By the way, guys, the last video that I posted, I had to delete. I lost 7 subscribers. It was a horrible video. I'm learning. I watch a lot of yarn dyeing videos myself. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I've been watching those. There are a lot of tutorials on how to start your own craft, homemade business on Etsy, on Shopify, QuickBooks, Photoshop. So I'm in YouTube a lot, just researching. And a lot of these people's videos, they don't edit at all. They just turn on their camera and they talk to you, and that's it. So if a pot falls off the stove, it's on the camera. A lot of them are very natural. They don't wear makeup. They don't do their hair's up, they're makeup free. They're just in there doing it. So I was in a hurry. My mom had mentioned something about, you haven't put a video up very lately, so I felt pressured to put a video out. I had a lot of company. I wasn't able to get what I wanted to do, and so I just did it with all the company here, all the dogs here, everything going on, and it was the worst video I had done. So I have learned to take my time, wait for people to leave, and do it right. So that's what I have learned. Remember, this is all my good points and my bad points. So I learned a lot from that last video. It was awful. It's just, my dogs were barking, they were trying to get in, I was nervous, I was crinkling wrapping paper, so all you heard was crinkle, 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 bark, bark, bark. I've learned my lesson. So, but I am busy creating the colorways, dyeing the yarn. I'm getting so much better at it, and I've got my labels. Now I just need to learn the websites and the accounting. Alright, I want to show you guys something that's really neat. When I became a knitter, how I became a knitter. My mother-in-law is from England, and she used to knit my kids all kinds of cute little things. I have a whole box full of her stuff. I just loved it. Well, then I became a grandmother. My stepson, Clayton and Kelly, had a baby named Xander, and I knew I was going to become a grandmother, and so I thought, oh, I have to learn to knit. I have to do that. I just cherished it so much from my mother-in-law that I was determined I have to do that for my grandchildren. So I took a class at Hobby Lobby. It was $10 a class, and for a month. So every Monday I went and took a class. My first class I did a dishcloth, and the second class I did this hat. This is knitting in the round. Typically you knit back and forth, make a straight thing like a washcloth or a scarf. Well, this you actually knit in the round. Your knitting needles form a circle and you knit in the round. And we had an assignment. We were supposed to go home and work on it and come back the next week. And I always had all my projects finished. Everyone, well, the other 4 people in the class maybe had a little bit done, where mine, everything was done. Well, there's a mistake here. Can you see it? What happened, see, this is a ribbing. You just knit the ribbing, and then you knit the stocking knit stitch, and then you start decreasing. Well, when I got here, I got up and went and did something, unloaded the dishwasher, emptied the dryer, did something, and I came back and sat down and I picked it up, and started knitting the wrong direction, I think. And so my hat has a little top notch of garter stitch. That is a mistake, friends. That's not supposed to be there. So I was all perfectionist, so I was all upset that that was a mistake, so I threw it away. My husband dug it up out of the trash and said, Tammy, I will keep this forever. I've been knitting for 8 years, and we still have this hat. And it is the warmest hat. It is super warm. See my little nub? So this hat has been dug out of the trash and has been kept in my husband's coat pocket for when he goes outside to work and he wears it. Isn't he sweet? Don't I have the best husband? So anyway, this is a really cute hat story. This is my first hat. So I want to encourage you new knitters that are having trouble. Mistakes are okay. If people knew me that heard me say that, they'd freak out that that's coming out of my mouth. But yeah, that's my first hat, knitting around. I learned at Hobby Lobby. I had no idea yarn stores existed. I've only been knitting for 8 years. I really didn't. I knew yarn was at Hobby Lobby, but since I didn't use it, I just passed it. I wasn't interested in it at all until I learned to knit. And then once I learned to knit, you love the products that you use. And a lot of people kind of become yarn snobs a little bit. They don't like the stuff from Hobby Lobby or Walmart. It's a lot of acrylic. And they go on to nicer things like the merino. Well, there's a place for acrylic. Anything you knit for a baby needs to be knit with acrylic, or children, because children are messy. They dribble all over the place. They get dirt everywhere. You want to throw it in the washer and dryer. You need acrylic for that. So acrylic is your friend. I am not a yarn snob. I have some acrylic. Now that I've gotten better, I'm a little bit of a yarn snob. What I am creating for you is the good stuff. It is superwash merino. It is the best of the best. It's very nice. It's luxury yarn, and that's what I'm creating for you. Alright guys, this is what I'm doing today. I am labeling my yarn with my new logos. I have been, I'll show you. I'm going to show you, this is a hand dyer's top secret thing that no one will ever show you, but people, I start off in a notebook, writing down, doing diagrams, all my little notes of what I create so I can go back and recreate them. Well, then I have been putting them in the computer and putting pictures with them. So these are my recipes of how I make it and what the product looks like. Isn't that neat? So if you're a person that likes to organize, and this is a fun thing to do. Let's see. Those are all my little recipe cards I've been working on. So I've been working on that. Let's check the yarn. Oh, it's cooking. It's looking better. There's the other pot. It's a lighter colorway. It's done pretty much. I've got to pull that out of the pot, friends. And here are some colors we've been working on. Lauren likes the cool colors and I like the warm colors. So we complement each other well. Isn't this blue pretty? And I'll tell you something that I absolutely love in doing this job. You have to have it. It's this little baby right here. This is called a spinner. And when your yarn is damp, you put it in here. It spins all the water out of it. The water comes out down there. And then your yarn is just barely damp. And you hang it up and it takes overnight and it is dry the next day. I was watching a lady on YouTube who got one for her business, and she was saying her yarn, it used to take 3 days to dry. and with that little machine it takes 1 day. So that is a definite must-have item to have right there if you want to do this. You don't have to have it, but it's certainly a luxury. But and the rack, we found that in Wyoming. There was a store that was closing, and all they pretty much had left were their displays. And I thought that would be a good thing. It's on both sides, so I can hang yarn on both sides to dry. And I thought that was a good thing to get. And then my plastic tubs with my rinse water, my supplies, my dyes. This is my dye stock. You have to have chemicals. These are my chemicals. My dyes. My soaps. My tools. And my workspace. And there's Erin, ever-present Erin. And do you want to see all the swatches I made? This is Dharma's poster of all their different colors of their dyes. So I also went and dyed some and knit them up. But those are very concentrated swatches. I learned a lot along the way. Do you see those colorways up there? I can see it, but I don't know that you can. Do you see the ones that are dark and have those light ones on the front of it? See the mauve and then the gray underneath it? That is the difference between softened water and hard water. The dark ones are soft water, the light ones are hard water. Amazing the difference there, isn't it? Here's a good example. That's frozen blue, and that's the difference between hard and light. You can see that difference between hard water and light water. So, soft water, not light water. Anyway, and this is where I keep my dyes. So they're all labeled on the top. Since I look down upon them, they make them easy for me to find. And I've got Pat stuff out here. So, those are two of the pillows that Pat got me. But yeah. I'm labeling my yarns. I'm getting closer, guys. Look at Christine sitting here. Isn't she beautiful? Ah, I love Christine. Love these colors too. Love, 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 love. I want you to know how much love and pleasure is done creating these. So when you get these in your home, you know that it was made in a place with lots of love and puppy dogs, babies. So this is it. This is my dye studio. And I have a blast in here. I'm in here every day making something. So I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you soon.